All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Tuesday, August 20th, 2024. If you've not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, hope you guys didn't miss me too much. Was serving the long arm of the law yesterday. Had some jury duty stuff going on, and the market was so slow, I just, after getting home late, I just did not think it was even worth doing a video. So hopefully that didn't inconvenience you guys too much here. But either way here, markets today, again, basically flat. So again, yesterday we had that ridiculous pop in the last 10 minutes. And that may have been a little bit of, maybe short-term short capitulation or just FOMO. And you can see that carried over to this morning, and then, it might be, again, you can kind of see it might have been a short-term little climax right now. But I talked about this level in the short from this morning. The low of this candle, really, just 55.92 area. And we got down there, but, we couldn't, if this wasn't in full summer doldrum mode, which is where we're at right now, dog days of summer, I think we would have broken that pretty easily. But you can see, look at the spiders here. This is including after hours. And doing this video, it's 4:11 p.m. right now. That's 32 million shares. At the close, I saw us at 29 million. So that's like basically like half day, like Thanksgiving type volume. So when that happens, you got to give bulls kind of the upside bias. It's very hard to sustain a sell unless you get news or something like that. And sellers get real conviction. But you can see here, we had a lower high for the first time really ever since Wednesday. And then we tried for a lower low there again for the first time since last Wednesday when we had that sell, not last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before, August 7th. And that's it, like higher lows the entire way. Not one lower low. Unless you count this, but I don't because this pivot was more major. But not a single one, and the whole time higher highs. So ridiculous move here. Now, one thing I want to talk about, and I talked about this Friday, could there be a little bit of a short-term tail here? Again, not that there's any sort of I don't think that there's any real reason for fear, but call it 5.6 the last 2 days, 5.6 and 5.7. And you also have fixed strike vol rising with the price of the spiders. So again, essentially 4 days in a row now. You can also see here VIX products, VVIX up 3, VIX up 8.5, VIX futures up 8, and then VIXI ETF up 4.38. So there is some smart money buying protection. Why would that matter? Well, tomorrow is VIXbury, so VIX will roll to new contract tomorrow, and I believe that VIX itself is already on that contract. But the last time that happened was, guess when? Yes, exactly, July 17th. So that was the start of our little vol buying spree. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to do that again. I think the market was scared enough by this sell here that we probably, we're not going to have that type of event again. But put call ratio at the lowest it's been since 7:15, which was right here. Sorry, right there. And you have volatility starting to inch up ahead of expiration. That's why I said last week, if you're bullish, you don't want to see us melting up uncontestedly into a volatility event like expiration or Jackson Hole for that matter. So that would be the only risk I can see here. That on the other side, are people, is there too much risk of people trying to fade this market? And is there too much liquidity? And are we too much into the dog days of summer? That's the question. Can there be enough volume for this to go down? But we'll see what we get tomorrow. I would expect some volatility to come into the market, at least the market to wake up a little bit, with volatility being unpinned at the index level. But it's up to bears, right? The onus is on the bears now. I mentioned this late last week. They have a window to do damage. They got to start doing it. And if they don't, then we'll put in a higher low and we're going to go make new highs. So that's kind of the base case right now. You can't really go long up here. You're already, you just missed literally now to the exact point, a 601 point move since August 5th. We're up over 10% now from the lows, and we just went on the longest winning streak since November 23. Now, of course, they gave us a token down day here. SPX down 11 points, Spiders down 91 cents. Token down day, but the biggest winning streak since November 23. So a year ago. I think there was a few after that. We haven't. It's very rare that we've gone 9 days in a row on a winning streak. But honestly, if we were up tomorrow, you could just say that it counts, right? I mean, being down 91 cents on the Spiders, that doesn't even count as a down day. So, but yeah, you don't want to be chasing up here. Shorting is difficult because you just kind of lost all these resistance levels. And volume's light, so it's hard to fight the tape. So you just kind of have to wait for a setup here. And if that means all-time highs first, that means all-time highs first, and then wait for the pullback there. But we'll see what we get tomorrow. I think we'll see a little bit more unpinned volatility. Couple other things. So let's look at the Qs down $1. Again, nothing major here. And there is another level up here. And again, here's a little bit of a minor divergence, and that is that the NASDAQ is not leading. So we have the 786 here at, we'll just say 487. We have not gotten there, whereas the Spiders are basically at new highs. I mean, like we could have a euphoric move tomorrow and touch new all-time highs. Like, I'm not saying that happens, but it's only 70 points away, whereas the Qs here, you're $25 away, $23. So negative divergence, you like to see the NASDAQ leading. Russell 2000 down 1.1. Again, we talked about 215 to the gap fill being resistance, and it did pull back. And this was down quite a bit today. So small caps much weaker than the rest of the market. A lot of what helped the market out today was Apple, Microsoft, Google, Tesla, Nvidia, Amazon. No, Amazon finished green, but Meta was weak. And then obviously we had Palo Alto earnings helping out IGV. So a lot of the strength today was in big tech. Look at IGV. I mean, I told you I like this, but I mean, this has gone faster than I would have even imagined here, but it got through that level and got through this one. And market is doing that thing where it disrespects every resistance level right now. So again, we may be in that type of a market here, but again, going into tomorrow, just be careful of that volatility starting to get unpinned. Diamond here above that level. I just want to show you the Dow because it is essentially right into it. And then if we look at the YM futures, it's right into it as well. So the DIA is above, but this pays dividends, and it's just a little bit adjusted. So take it with a little more of a grain of salt. But, it's holding up fine. SMH here was on the weaker side today, and again, NVIDIA down 2.5, I think. Yeah, down a little over 2%. Still not above the 50 MA, so it may need to consolidate to get above that. So semis were weak today. SOX down 1.3. Transports were also weak today, engulfing reversal on the daily. Again, still in a good, it's still in good shape. But obviously this 15.8, this gap here, that was resistance, right? It pulled back pretty sharply on Thursday, popped up, couldn't hold it. So it probably needs to consolidate if it wants to get through that. Or it needs to pull back a little bit more, and then it can come back up and try to get it. Rates here on the weaker side. So again, it's, not that I really care, but the macro does seem to be deteriorating just a little bit here. So rates, I mean, the 10-year, that's not good. You want to see a higher low here. I think the market wants to see a higher low too. 30 is starting to come down pretty sharply. 2s and 10s inching up a little bit here today. 3-month 10-year still way out of whack. But the dollar just getting pounded. And we'll see. It's got to get, you got these pivots down here. There's another master pivot down at like 150. But this has had a really good sell the last couple of days. And if we look at dollar yen, that is starting to back off again. And the market's pretty much just ignoring it. We'll see if it changes tomorrow with Vixpiration. But again, markets can ignore these things for a while, as you know. But definitely interesting to see rates coming down. I thought there was a good chance of a higher low there, which would have been good for the market on the 10-year. And there still is. But you kind of wanted to see this up here and then follow through. And it's not following through so far. Home builders here down 74 cents. They did close above that red bar, though. So that's a big positive for XHB. It was down today, but it wasn't terrible. It did close back above the 20 moving average again today, even though we were down. So trend reclaimed on XHB. VNQ down 11 cents. This continues to be at 52-week highs. Strong chart. XLF very strong here. Little triple top. You know, my bias is it probably pulls back a little bit and then it can break out. We'll see. KRE was down today. Notably, this helped hurt the Russell. Pretty good. Outside move down. Back below the 20 MA. And now you got to watch for a lower high. So bulls want to see a higher low here. Prefer to hold that 50 moving average if it comes down. And then 56 is still a big level there. And then KBE, same exact setup. Although this is a little bit stronger. Broker dealers were down today. Again, basically hit all-time highs, pulling back. Nothing terrible. Oil took a hit, down 50 cents. And this just continues to chop, right? So it's at the lower end of this wedge. Does it break down? We'll see. It's trading positively with yields right now. It's positively correlated. XLE down as well. I don't know if this is related to the DNC and maybe even the oil trade. But, I mean, I guess this would be a Trump trade, right? Energy down and tech up for the most part. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's not... I don't tend to put a lot behind those presidential trades because there's a lot of noise involved. For instance, marijuana stocks were down today, like pretty sharply. But Trump has recently talked about how he's like very, not just like pro marijuana, but he's pro rescheduling. He's also pro legalization in Florida. And he's pro expunging all nonviolent marijuana charges. So, you know, the algos, they don't update them enough or something. I mean, they're not very smart sometimes. But, you know, you can say that's the trade, but it kind of doesn't make sense because he's said that stuff recently. So, but yeah, XLE down today. We'll see what it does tomorrow. But definitely on the weaker side. Still has plenty of room for higher lows. And XLP2, we talked about this. We knew this was going to be a resistance anyway. I told you that last week. You know, we had 140, 150. It would go up there and then it would pull back. And it got to 140, 164. You know, it just had a 13-point move. So it's going to pull back. It's got plenty of room for higher lows, though. OIH is weak, though. So OIH may want to go down and test 280. So oil service is definitely not strong. CCJ hanging in there. It needs to get above 42. Might need to consolidate to do that. NM, I don't really love the pattern. So it had a nice bounce off the lows, but it is not V-shaping. And we were talking about this in the trading room earlier. I think URA has a better V-shape than NM and NJ. And the same thing goes for CCJ. But big picture, it's just a correction after a big up move. I mean, look at the monthly here. There's really no problems with this. In fact, you're still above the monthly 20 MA. But in the near term, I'm not a huge fan. Nat gas here today, holding up. So we had that sell Friday, right back up yesterday, and then inside day today. This is basing here. This is basing for an up move. I believe we get a contract roll soon. And we can look at the V, and that looks the same. V actually looks a little bit stronger, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was only down 70 basis points, and the U was down 1%. So nat gas basing, again, I think that's bottom for the season. Dollar index, we talked about 1, 2, 3 sell. That'll probably be green tomorrow. But I don't like that chart anymore. Gold here up 52 basis points. All-time highs. Silver up 62 basis points. We took a little gain on this with the swing service today, up 7.5%. Hit the 30 handle. We're pulling back. That's resistance for now. Platinum down 0.5%. Nothing terrible there. Got to close above that red. It looks like it's trying to base right now and do that. Palladium still very cheap. Nothing changed there. And then copper. Oh, I forgot we took trade gain in the trading room today. So it got to my second target. Now looking for target 3, maybe 430. It's possible. So I have a little runner on that. And right now it's just basing below that 420 area. If you get through that, I think you can go right up to this breakdown. Maybe, I mean, 440 is above that too. I just think that trade got really crowded to the sell side. It was really crowded long a few months ago, but it is definitely not anymore. Bitcoin didn't do anything today. Still have that bullish inside bar. It's below the moving averages. You are back above the 20 now, though, as we've kind of caught up to price there. We'll see what we get. I don't have a bias on it right now, other than the big picture. It is a big bull pattern. I think ETH is looking a little bit tighter here. I think that looks like it wants to actually break out, honestly. I wouldn't take a trade based on it, but it does look all right. So anyway, tomorrow we'll see what we get. Again, it was very one-sided 2 weeks ago, and now it's like I can't pull up Twitter without somebody seeing a meme or somebody dunking on the bears here. It's amazing how fast this move. You guys know I was very bullish, down here saying like buy the dip, but I mean, after like the 14th, it just got ridiculous here. So incredible melt up here. We'll see what we get tomorrow. Again, just be on guard for a little bit extra volatility, expiration. That said, maybe the market's a little ready for it. So we might not see anything, but we'll see. And then obviously Jackson Hole Friday. It seems the market's pricing in the perfect scenario here. So that's where I would see a little bit of downside risk. 5,500 is a big level for bulls to hold. We're above that. I think the market's fine. So anyways, guys, getting wrapped up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I will see you guys all tomorrow.